Fudo Ikawa, popularly known as Red Gelato, leads the freezing Sentai Gelato 5 team and goes on a date with his girlfriend, supervillain Desumi Magahara, while his teammates fight her enemies. However, when Blue Gelato discovers them, Fudo and Desumi engage in combat. When Blue leaves, they return to their romance. Fudo reminisces about how this happened. A week earlier, the Gelato 5, consisting of Fudo, Haru Arisagawa Pink, Hayato Ojino Blue, Misaki Jinguji Yellow, and Daigo Todoroki Green, learned of a new villainess known as the Reaper Princess, a member of the villainous organization Secret Society Gecko. They later defeated Gecko member Culverin Bear and his army.
Sweet Berry, impact!
Time limit, rise! IP's pain!
Pistachio, strike! Twin soda, flash!
During that fight, Fudo faced Desumi by himself, where he was smitten by her. Back at headquarters, Fudo revealed to Professor Big Gelato that he fell in love, with the latter encouraging him to express his feelings right away. Fudo took his advice literally when he summoned Desumi to an abandoned warehouse. Assuming this was a trick, Desumi attacked him, but was won over when she realized how serious Fudo was. Back in the present, they swear to keep their secret safe, as they are forced to fight again when Yellow arrives. Gecko members,
including Desumi,
fight with the Gelato 5 in a shipyard. Desumi and Fudo break away from the fight to take a picture together. However, when Yellow arrives, Desumi feigns defeat. While she is on the ground, she overhears Fudo being interviewed by a news team about his romantic life. Once Yellow and the news team leave, Desumi asks Fudo to take her on a proper date. While a nervous Fudo is doing research on date activities, a drunk Jinguji arrives and tells him to do things they can both enjoy. The next day, he takes Desumi to a gym. After Desumi excuses herself, Jinguji calls Fudo, telling him to disregard her drunken advice. Distraught, he believes that he has disappointed Desumi and goes to look for her. Once they reunite, Desumi assures him that she is happy just being with him. Delighted, they nearly kiss before they are called back into action. Sometime later, Helko, Desumi's cat, reflects on how lonely Desumi was prior to her relationship with Fudo. While she accepts Fudo's role in Desumi's newfound happiness, Helko swears to make Fudo pay if he does something to harm Desumi. Following weeks of inactivity from Gecko, Fudo severely misses Desumi. As such, he immediately takes on a suicide mission to infiltrate Gecko's base, leaving Big Gelato and Jinguji concerned for him. Desumi, similarly lonely, finds him an event in Gecko's base and happily plays card games with him. However, they are nearly discovered by Culverin Bear, having to hide in a small locker. Fudo accidentally discomforts Desumi, who punches him out of the locker in embarrassment. He slams into Culverin Bear, activating his new weapons, which explode violently and destroy the base, leading Jinguji and Big Gelato to think Fudo accomplished his mission. The next day, Gecko Supreme Leader Bossler meets with Desumi and the other villains, revealing their plan of stealing people's negative emotions and turning them into monsters is coming to fruition. Desumi proposes an amusement park as a desirable place to attack, and meets with Fudo there. A fight breaks out, and while the Gelato 5 deal with the Gecko army,
We're heroes too, you don't need to worry about us!
Fudo and Desumi enjoy some time together on the rides. As the Gelato 5 leave, Arisagawa discovers a picture taken of a roller coaster, in which Fudo appears beside a girl. Outside their activities, Desumi and Fudo are normal students. Desumi sees Fudo and Arisagawa in a cafe and runs away upset. Arisagawa wanted to talk about the picture, but is convinced that Fudo is not dating anyone. They are then called into action, where Desumi roughly fights with Fudo. Taking him aside, she admits that while she knows that he was not cheating on her, she still felt jealous. As such, Fudo reassures her. They are surprised by Arisagawa, who reveals she overheard the whole conversation. The next day, Arisagawa informs the Gelato 5 of her and Fudo's upcoming school exams, much to his surprise. That night, Arisagawa challenges Desumi to a fight, but is quickly defeated.
So, are you satisfied now? Wait, why is she so desperate to...
She wakes up in Desumi's lap, where she questions why she did not expose them. Arisagawa reveals that she joined the Gelato 5 due to her love for Fudo, and was inspired in the past by Desumi, who defended her from bullies at school. As she cares deeply for both, she did not want to ruin their happiness. They tearfully embrace, and while walking back, Arisagawa jokingly warns Desumi that she will take Fudo for herself if she is not careful. Following a meeting with Bossler, fellow villain Steel Princess reveals to Desumi that despite her unappealing demeanor, she has fallen in love. Desumi immediately agrees to help, and alongside a reluctant Beast Princess, attempts to teach Steel about femininity. However, their attempt goes awry, only making Steel even less confident in herself. After telling Fudo about the situation, he advises Desumi to help Steel to accept herself as she is. Desumi and Beast enter Steel's dressing room, where, after dodging her anguish-driven attacks, Desumi manages to tell Steel to be herself and accept her feelings. Crying, Steel takes her armor off, and gathers the courage to confess her feelings to Culverin Bear. Sometime later, Arisagawa helps keep Desumi and Fudo hidden during a fight against Gecko. After Arisagawa leaves, Desumi attempts to feed lunch to Fudo, but he suffers from a sudden appendicitis. In the hospital, Desumi visits Fudo, and finally manages to feed him, much to his delight. However, before they can kiss, Fudo's mother appears and takes Desumi away for a volleyball match. After the game, Fudo's mother shows Desumi his baby pictures and asks her to take care of him. Bossler announces that Desumi has been chosen for a promotion, which involves her being fused with a gorilla. While she receives support, Desumi doubts if she wants to do it. That night, she receives a call from her family, as her father explains that her promotion has made them all proud. Her normally shy little sister Yorami tells Desumi that she sees her as her idol, and wishes to join Gecko someday. She reunites with Fudo, who tells her to follow her feelings. The next day, Desumi turns down the promotion, much to Bossler's delight. Sometime later, Gecko is at the beach after Fudo told Desumi they would be testing a new robot there. Gelato 5's new submarine arrives for a test drive, so Desumi reunites with Fudo. Beast, hiding behind a rock, mistakes Fudo and Desumi's activities as torture. That night, Desumi joins the Gelato 5 for dinner, where Jinguji thanks Desumi for making Fudo a better man. They watch the fireworks and burn sparklers, while Beast mistakes an explosion inadvertently caused by Big Gelato as Desumi's doing. On the train ride back, Daigo analyzes a picture of Desumi and Fudo closely. Daigo collapses when he hears Desumi's name. When asked about it, Daigo tells Fudo about their past. 10 years prior, Daigo was a pupil in a karate academy until Desumi arrived one day, where he discovered how absurdly powerful she truly was. Sometime later, Daigo's master closed the academy after Desumi defeated him. Daigo then offered to train her. However, despite Desumi's respect for him, he had to train hard just to remain alive.
And as the days went on,
Daigo requested one final battle after Desumi reached adolescence. After she defeated him, he left her.
I'm ready! Only in my nightmares.
And when we do, we can practice together.
Back in the present, Daigo expresses his desire to enlist Desumi into the Gelato 5. During an outing, Fudo presents Desumi to Daigo. While she is happy to see Daigo again, she declines his offer. Seeing how Desumi acts with Fudo, Daigo believes love has made her weak, and challenges her once again. He tells her that she will leave Fudo and join the Gelato 5 if he wins, prompting Desumi to beat him instantly.
I'll unleash my strength.
Observation! Daigo found himself transforming.
Walking home, Desumi feels uncomfortable that the Gelato 5 already knows of their romance and advises Fudo to keep their guard up. Unbeknownst to them, a mysterious girl captures them on camera. Fudo receives a picture of him and Desumi. Meanwhile at school, Desumi is teased by a girl named Hojo. That night, Fudo meets with the mysterious sender of the picture, who turns out to be Hojo. She threatens to blackmail him if he does not break up with Desumi. Hojo then attempts to have him kiss her hand, but she runs away out of embarrassment. Once Desumi is informed of the situation, she reaches to the conclusion that the girl loves Fudo. The next day, he kindly rejects Hojo, but she reveals she is actually in love with Desumi. After Hojo explains how she and Desumi first met, Fudo commends her for her taste. Hojo leaves, as is it revealed she is actually the masked Heat Princess. Sometime later, Fudo agrees to tutor Arisagawa, and Desumi tags along. They study in Desumi's room, but they only succeed in confusing her with their unusual methods. After Arisagawa leaves, Fudo reveals to Desumi that he intends to become a teacher. As such, she states her desire to study with him, wanting to be a witness to his journey. Their moment is interrupted by the arrival of Desumi's father. Desumi's father, a former Gecko soldier, chastises her for declining her promotion. When Fudo comes to her defense, he is silenced by Urami. Desumi's father tells her that she must devote herself to Gecko after she finishes high school, but Fudo tells him that she desires to go to university. Fudo gets Desumi's father approval after he commends his skill to be defeated spectacularly.
I've mastered the elegant art of defeat.
He then leaves, agreeing to postpone the matter. Sometime later, Urami remembers the moment she began admiring Desumi. Desumi tours Urami around Gecko headquarters, but the latter is disheartened when Desumi is friendly with her coworkers. During a shopping trip, a disappointed Urami leaves Desumi. In a corner, she remembers how much her family told her about Desumi's success as a member of Gecko when she was little, and how she finally came out of her room when she heard of Desumi's promotion, expressing her desire to be like her. Back in the present, Urami is approached by some thugs, but Desumi deals with them. Desumi tells Urami to find love, explaining that it is needed to become stronger. Urami finally accepts who Desumi is now, but continues to disapprove of Fudo. Desumi briefs Fudo about her high school's culture festival, including an event called the Kokite Moon, which is said to create lifelong couples out of people who have their picture taken on it. As such, they resolve to go together. Fudo attends the festival, but is quickly recognized and swarmed by students while carrying Ojino on his shoulders. Meanwhile, Desumi is constantly harassed by Hojo, all while Beast is patrolling the school. Desumi and Fudo manage to meet in a haunted house, but their moment is quickly ruined by Beast. Once the Kokite Moon is unveiled, Desumi and Fudo rush to its location. Desumi finally manages to get rid of Hojo when she sets her up to fight with the Blood Princess. She then reunites with Fudo, who is left alone when Ojino chases after Beast. With only 5 minutes left, they begin losing hope. However, when they see Steel was fooled by a student wearing a costume similar to Culverin Bear, they switch into their respective outfits, and people confuse them as cosplayers. As such, they succeed in having their picture taken, promising to live to see their relationship be accepted by everyone. The Quiet Judgment Princess always tries to avoid social interactions. As such, Desumi tricks her into attending a sleepover with the other princesses in her room. They eat takoyaki, watch movies, and mess around. They then talk about romance, and Judgment asks about what love is. She then teases Desumi when she detects that she is in love. That night, Desumi thanks Judgment for coming, and she admits she had a good time. Sometime later, Desumi and Fudo hang out in a snowy refuge, and Fudo tells her of a book signing event for his new book. However, she catches a cold and is cared for by the Blood Princess. Beast then rushes to save her, as she tells Steel how blood brainwashes her patients into acting as babies. They find Desumi dressed as one, and they are both captured when they try to save her. When Fudo infiltrates the school, he finds Desumi in this state. Embarrassed, he reads her his book, which snaps her back to normal. He tearily tells her that nobody came to his event, so Desumi excitedly receives his first autograph. Meanwhile, Blood holds Beast and Steel hostage, treating them as babies as well. Fudo tells Desumi that he has been hired to appear in a wedding commercial, which includes a cake-cutting scene with a famous idol. When she tells him that he cannot accept the role, he accuses her of being selfish. Once she leaves, Arisagawa makes Fudo understand the pain Desumi is feeling. Elsewhere, Bossler showcases the ultimate phantom, a monster created from negative energy. The phantom turns out to be too strong, as it absorbs the powers of those it consumes. After it escapes, the phantom attacks the chute, and while Fudo gets everyone to safety, a cake he made for Desumi is destroyed. The rest of Gelato 5, Beast, and Steel then try to fight the phantom, to no avail.
Soda! Flash! Berry! Impact! Yo! Strike!
From Gelato 5, the monster seems completely unfazed. Suffer! Iron! I'll slice you to ribbons!
Big Gelato explains to Fudo that the only way to defeat the phantom is by combining the Gelato 5 weapons into one sword, the Gelato Claymore.
Complete! Gelato Claymore!
When Desumi arrives, she finds Fudo's cake. Desumi then helps him hold the claymore, and together, they manage to slice the phantom. Afterwards, the phantom is reduced to a baby, and Desumi attacks Fudo again to keep their ruse going when they are interviewed, promising to see each other again. This is the end of my video, so please watching all of my anime recap series. Thanks for watching.